Here we go. If you're in the chat, predictions open. Play show who you think will take the series. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the yellow Terran, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is INexorable. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Brazilian Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Team Hellfire. It is AlisoN, aka AliGod. Oh no. But here we go. We are going to be settling in, and my eyes are going to be on our Protoss player here to see how they do approach. Oh my god, as we are setting up for a proxy. Oh, are we? No, never mind. Okay. We are rallied here towards the southern half of the map, but I think we're rallying back in towards the main. No, never mind. The probe is sticking around. Show us what you got. As AlisoN is getting ready for the proxy pylon. Meanwhile, INexorable going for a single gas opener. This tells us that INexorable is going for an economic build, going for a Rax into CC on the low ground, something much more economic, which means he would be vulnerable to aggression. There's the pylon, and we will soon be seeing some gateways. Let us go. It's going to be a one gateway back at home, and I imagine the gateway across the map. Yep, there we go. Second gateway has been placed. With this, we can go for initially a Zealot to run across the map with proxied Stalker and Adept. I say that. No Zealot on the way yet here for AlisoN. Interesting. Probe dips in, and AlisoN will confirm one gas. Does confirm a single gas opener, does confirm the CC on the low ground. AlisoN knows that his opponent is vulnerable. At the same time, we do see that INexorable does scout, does confirm that something is amiss, that there should soon be an expansion, and that there is none. So a big scout from the Terran. I mean, again, there should be a Nexus. Without it, something is wrong, something is amiss. Ooh, the Reaper does not scout at home. It moves out of... There we go. Reaper does turn back around, is going to be checking and scouting the proxy locations, and will come across the gateway. So nice scouting here by INexorable. Does confirm. Stalkers are on the way, and INexorable is going for the bunker on the low ground. Bold move. He's going to try and hold on to the natural, not the main. So more of a risky maneuver here from the Terran. Stalker has arrived. Reaper takes a lot of hits. Bunker's under fire. And the SCV doesn't go down. Oh, the Reaper does though. Reaper does fall. Stalker taking a lot of hits. The second Stalker has arrived. Gets a Marine. One Marine left. The bunker is up. The bunker is up. Yo, we're going proxy void, right? Let's go! The Stargate gets placed, and are we feeling proxy void right here? Or, I mean, it's a one-way soul-in, right? Especially with another gateway. There's no expanding behind this. There's no, like, Oracle opener into a Nexus. No shot. It's all or nothing for AlisoN. Now, the longer this goes on, the better it's going to be here for INexorable. Behind this, his factory is done. Cyclone's on the way. Starport as well for Viking production, potentially. Bunker taking a lot of hits, but the boys are being pulled to repair. Nice snipe on some of those SCVs. Oh! Cyclone does not get the Stalker. One more shot! One more! Oh my god! What a mass, papi! Almost! If the Cyclone went down, that would have been huge! But the Cyclone does survive. A Void Ray is on the way. There are no shield batteries with this. The gas guys were stolen the main. Let's go. Love to see it. Speaking of shield batteries, I imagine the pylon is for those forward shield batteries as well. But again, I feel like without sniping that Cyclone, INexorable, he's just building up a little bit too much. He's got a tank on the way, Viking as well. AlisoN is on the timer. There's a shield battery. Void Ray has arrived. And he has to break this position here and now, before the reinforcements arrive. SCV does confirm. And here we go. AlisoN pushes in. Takes down the Void Ray. Goes for the tank. But the tank is going to go down. Takes down one Stalker. Oh, and the Void Ray. Oh, Void Ray goes down as well. That was brutal. And AlisoN has to break this bunker, but it's not happening. The bunker holds. Second Void Ray has arrived. Going for SCVs. Marines putting in a lot of DPS, taking down 2 of those stalkers. Oh, the bunker! Oh, it lives. The repair's too good. The repair's just a little bit too good. And INexorable, he's holding. The tank has arrived. He's holding. He's surviving. AlisoN was so close again earlier, so close to sniping the initial cyclone, so close to breaking the bunker. But close is not good enough. Not in StarCraft. Really, AlisoN is hoping that maybe INexorable overextends and moves out, unloads the bunker and pushes out into the open, but that should never happen. As now there's a second tank. More Marines amassing. And things are looking bleak here at INexorable. He has a massive economic lead. Remember, AlisoN is 1 base all in. Adepts are threatening a shade. Oh, does he commit? He does. Commits onto the tank. The first tank is going to fall, but there's another tank behind this. Void Ray goes down. GG gets called, and INexorable will survive and take game number 1. GG. Does take the first game. Does take a lead. Whew, a very intense game 1. Very, very intense. And I feel like it's going to be a short series here. I mean, even if it goes to the ace match, I would not be surprised if AlisoN has some more cheese up his sleeve. But now we have our map of choice. We're going to be loading into Site Delta. Let's go. Let us go. So we have our second game. We're all going to be filing in. Meanwhile, shout out to Cosmos, of course, as Cosmos is covering other portions of the bracket as well. He's actually covering DTWB versus Dominoko. Ah, there you go. Is covering that series. Here we go. So it looks like we have, thankfully, kind of like split ourselves up, and he's covering the upper half of the bracket, and we're focusing on the lower half instead. And here it is, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner. We have the Brazilian Terran player, the Yellow Terran, representing the Platinum Heroes, leading the series 1-0. It is INexorable. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Brazilian Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Team Hellfire. It is AlisoN. Keep an eye on those workers. We'll keep an eye on any kind of move out, any kind of proxy, any kind of setup here from the Protoss. Eyes are going to be on AlisoN. Now everything looking as it should. But now we can calm down. When it comes to Site Delta, because of the unique feature of the ramp coming into the natural, it is a lot more defendable because you have the high ground advantage that you otherwise do not on other maps. Because of that, AlisoN going for an all-in on this map isn't going to be as effective, or it's going to be a little bit more difficult to pull off. So I would imagine that AlisoN has a different plan and would have a different approach. At least I would hope. I would hope that that's the case. No PTR. Regular game. I see someone asking in the chat, is this on the PTR? We have been casting a lot of tournaments on the PTR. We even casted the last Elite League on the PTR as well last night. But no, this event here is not on the PTR. It's going to just be the current state of the game with the current map pool and the current patch. Do apologize. But we've been casting a lot of PTR tournaments. A lot of them. And I believe our next PTR cast is going to be in 2 days' time. No, sorry. It's going to be tomorrow. Right. It's going to be tomorrow. The Nation's Total Tussle will be on the PTR. as INexorable does move out with his initial Reaper. Again, it was a Rax Expand economic opener out of the Terran player, and he will confirm there is a Nexus. Does confirm there is a Nexus, there's an expansion. So far, AlisoN playing standard. So far. I mean, clearly after game 1, we know that he's more than willing to go all in, more than willing to spice things up. See if he does so here. Reaver dips into the main. Ooh, does not see the tech. Barely does not get eyes on the Twilight Council. Now, in my mind, especially because of how aggressive AlisoN was in game 1, when I see Twilight Council, when I see Blink, I'm feeling 4-gate Blink. Right? I'm feeling just 2-base aggression here from AlisoN. And this is not a bad map for it. It can take a little bit more work to actually dive into the main just because of the choke point here. But it's still possible. So we'll see. Ooh, as Reaper goes down. And how many gates? Well, we have an... Oh my god, that is not Blink! Okay, never mind. That is going to be charged. Charged on the way. It is going to be 4 gates, as we did mention. So we got it half correct. I was assuming 4-gate Blink. It is a 4-gate charge from AlisoN. This is much more committed. This does not scale as well into the mid-game. You have that much less to work with when it comes to shutting down drop play and just gaining map control. But this can hit like a truck. This looks like the beginning of a 2-base all-in. When I say it did look like the beginning, and now it's looking like the end of a 2-base all-in. Now it's here we have confirmation. That is a 5th gateway. 5th gateway. I would not be surprised if we throw down a 6th gateway as well, like a 6-gate 2-base all-in. That would make sense. I do think that off of 2 bases, that is enough to facilitate 4 6 gates. And you can see here as well, he's pulled out of gas. No gas income in the main base whatsoever. It's purely minerals, purely zealot, purely all in. Here we go. AlisoN is pushing. AlisoN just has to make sure he doesn't get supply blocked. At the same time, a marine drop across the map. We're going to end up in a really awkward position. We're going for a base trade, essentially. We're just going for a pseudo base trade. Here we go. As AlisoN does dive in. Massive warp into the main, does avoid the bunkers. And the warp in does complete. These are vanilla marines at the same time. INexorable does hit the natural. Ooh, massive mine shots. 10 probes go down. But it's not about the natural, it's about the main armies and how they clash. Tank on the high ground doing what it can. Marines, they bust into the mineral line. Probes are falling left and right. AlisoN will lose all of his economy. And what about INexorable? Oh, another massive warp in on top of the tank. The tank is trapped. He can't get out. And GG gets called. It looks like AlisoN does it. And AlisoN ties up the series 1-1. GG. Oh my god. The warp in, the lockdown on the tank. Very, very nicely done. GG, well played. We're going to the ace match. We're going all the way to game 3. As it should be. As it should be. Here we go. Go. What do you think of a PTR icon so you can hide or show on the layout so let people know? I mean, I feel like there are plenty of context clues when it comes to whether or not it is the PTR. Fun fact, every PTR tournament that we have casted has been on the new maps, and whenever you watch a game, you'll know, hey, that's Side Delta, that's, you know, Oceanborn, that's Ghost River, that's Alkione. Huh, that's a bit odd. Like, isn't that a current map in the current map pool? True. Like, that's, I would say that would be like the more immediate tell is what map they're playing on. Just because all the PTR tournaments that we've casted have been on the new map pool, not on the current map pool. Just at a glance, I should say. At a glance. But here we go, we're getting into our next game and spawning in the top, or we're getting into the ace match, I should say, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Ghost River, we have the yellow Terran player from the land of Brazil representing the Platinum Heroes. It is INexorable. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the Brazilian Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Team Hellfire. It is AlisoN. Let us go. As it is time for INexorable to be the aggressor. He's had enough. He's had enough defending. He's had enough taking these all-ins, whether it's a one-base all-in from game 1 or two-base all-in from game 2. Here in game 3, INexorable is going for the proxy racks in the natural of AlisoN. And I imagine this is going to be a 2-rack setup. 1 proxied, 1 back at home, but never mind. We'll see. We'll see how INexorable does kind of bring this all together. Meanwhile, AlisoN does not probe scout, so AlisoN is going to be in the dark. Oh, that is brutal. If this, typically this probe would move out across the map to scout and confirm what's going on. Without the probe scout, AlisoN's going to have a delayed reaction. AlisoN's going to have no reaction. We go. As the SV does dip in, Reaper's on the way. There is a singular gateway back at home for AlisoN, thankfully. And this pylon isn't really set up for a proxy robo. It's too close to the main base of AlisoN. This could just be proxy Stargate. Oh, never mind. It is proxy robo. Now, on the one hand, because we're on Ghost River, the rush distance by ground is short, true. So, I mean, I guess you could use this to facilitate for an all-in, but it's still a little bit further back. It's still just a really awkward location. We often see them here. Or even here, like right behind this mineral patch and these rocks. Meanwhile, the Reaper has arrived. Bunker behind the mineral line. Probes are going down. There is that Stalker. And with help of the Stalker, the bunker is denied. But that's going to be 3 probe kills already. Getting up to 4. 4 probes go down. Reaper gets the hell out of here. Does pull away. Reaper does pull away. Second Reaper does pop. INexorable should recognize as well. Where's the second pylon? The second pylon is missing immediately. INexorable should be scouting, and he is. There we go. Checking these standard proxy locations, as we mentioned before, behind these minerals and rocks. He's also checking here behind these rocks as well. So he's checking all the standard locations, and he will find the robo. Does find it. Is aware Immortal's on the way. And back at home, INexorable stays on 1 base. Double gas, faster factory, cyclone production, faster starport as well. INexorable is looking quite secure. Meanwhile, here comes the Immortal, waddling across the map. Does waddle across. Getting an SEV. Oh! Shields are triggered. Nice pick up here from INexorable. Pulls away. Boys are being pulled to repair. A little bit premature here. Oh, he wants to take the fight to the Immortal. Oh my god, he wants it! He does want the Immortal. Viking has arrived. That'll be to zone away and just shut down the Prism. Oh my god, the Immortal gets knocked up. Gets knocked away. Prism under fire. And INexorable shutting this down. He's completely shutting this down. The Stalker falls, and INexorable, he can chase! He could! Opts not to. Calms things down. Pulls away. The Immortal survives, so does the War Prism. Focusing on repairing first. As he's building up more Cyclones. And AlisoN expands. AlisoN does opt to expand instead. And INexorable doesn't press his advantage. He comes back home. I mean, I don't blame him. Based on how aggressive and how assertive AlisoN has been this entire series, he's expecting another push. But because of that, he's allowing AlisoN to recover. Isn't there yet. The Nexus is only halfway done. And there we go. The army moves out. As he moves out, the Prism is poised to move in. Observer spots the army. INexorable now out of position. And where do the Immortals go? Was found. Immortals. Oh, they turn back around. I assumed that it was going to be they were going to be dropping here in the mineral line. But AlisoN makes a choice to come back to defend. And I'm not sure he can. That's a lot of Cyclones. It's 4 Cyclones, 2 Vikings. Shield battery still on the way. Again, the only anti-air is the one Stalker. Soon to be a second. Vikings, they can commit. And they can and they will. They're going for the Prism. Shield battery will finish up. Can pop the overcharge. There it is. Overcharge gets popped. But the Immortal still goes down. 1-2 Immortal kills. The overcharge does nothing. It's not enough. It is not good enough. I say that is saving the Adept, though. There's just not enough DPS. Not enough firepower. INexorable, he has to respect the overcharge. Being a little bit too stubborn here. Does keep fighting and will lose his Cyclones. It wasn't a bad trade for INexorable, but again, overconfident. Was overconfident, has to back up. AlisoN barely holding. Tank has arrived, charge kicking in. And without kiting those charges, they can trade very well. Yeah, they shut down the Cyclone. AlisoN holds. AlisoN does hold. INexorable turning back around. Pulling back. And now the worker counts are, I mean, they're neck and neck. 26 probes to 26 SCVs. INexorable has no CC. He's falling behind. The Terran player is falling behind in a longer macro game. AlisoN on a 2-base setup is saturating. And INexorable has to make a choice. Does he expand, or does he go for a 1-base all-in? Based on these libs, it's an all-in. And I would not be opposed. I'd not be opposed to pulling the boys. There it is. I would not be opposed to pulling the boys. There we go. The boys are being pulled. It's all or nothing for INexorable. Here we go. And he does have the army supply lead. With the help of those workers, he should be able to break this. Force fields could actually complicate things quite a bit. There's also going to be an overcharge available here as well. Can AlisoN survive this? Liberators will complicate things though. Liberation has arrived. The boys push in. Zealots, they're going to fall. There's the overcharge. But there's just not enough Zealots. Zealots, they melt. Liberator goes down, but the Marines are pushing forward. Once again, they pick up the Zealots. They take down the shield battery. And INexorable has done it. He breaks the back of AlisoN. GG. INexorable will take the series 2-1. Will advance on to the semifinals. GG, well played. INexorable will take the series. Did go all the way to the ace match, and honestly, I could have seen even that game going either way as well. AlisoN did pose quite a threat. Unfortunately, AlisoN did not quite have enough to defend that natural. Additional shield batteries would have gone a long way, definitely, or even additional sentries for some force fields. If there was maybe 2-3 sentries, then definitely there would have been a chance to slice up the army, to cut off the SCVs from the main force, deal with one army first, then the other, something of that nature. Regardless, GG. INexorable does take it. Does take it in the end. And now we are headed to the semis. Does INexorable have an opponent? Let's find out.